Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Monday, May 12th, 2025. So, did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And what did you think?
I thought it was a pretty typical Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a little longer than it usually does, but not too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're going to have to explain the theme to me.
Really?
I didn't quite, I kind of figured out what they were doing with the theme, but I would like to get your opinion on it.
I have no idea. I just filled it out sort of ignoring the crossword, ignoring the theme.
You didn't need the theme.
Right.
You didn't need to fill it out. But anyway, there were 4 themed clues. And the clues were just descriptions of the answers. There was nothing, especially unique about them in any way. So, for example, the first one was 17 across, dessert cocktail with creme de cacao. And that was a brandy Alexander.
Ooh, I like how you trilled your R when you did that.
How about that?
Can you do that again?
No.
Oh.
And then we had 34 across. The answer was Candyland, and it was the game. And then we had a handstand at 42 across. And then finally, 59 across went the length of the puzzle, just like Brandy Alexander, and that was Shetland Islands. Mm-hmm. And the revealer was 56 down, boy's name or how you might describe the themed clues. And the answer to that was Andy. Mm-hmm. And of course, all of them have A-N-D, the word and, in them twice. Brandy, Alexander, Candy, Land, Hand, Stand, Shetland Islands. But I'm not sure why Andy is a description of, phrases or words that have 2 ands in them. So,
Well, it's very Andy.
I guess so.
At first, I thought it was because it was actually A-N-D-Y, because the first
one was.
The first two
were, yes.
have got Andy, but then it's sort of, they go off the rails at Handstand and Shetland Islands.
So, but anyway, I should have read wordplay. They explained it, but not necessarily. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But anyway, that was the theme, and it was pretty easy to get that filled out, I thought.
Pretty easy to ignore.
Yeah, that too. So, but the rest of the puzzle, it had some good clues in it, and some things that we see quite often in Monday puzzles, and some that were a little more unique. I liked 22 across, common destination for a field trip, and that was museum.
Right.
So, and that is a common place to go on a field trip. I also liked 45 across, and I actually knew the answer to this. Montana is the only U.S. state with 1 in Spanish, and that was motto.
And do you know what Montana's motto is?
I know it's in Spanish, but in English it's like gold and silver.
That's right. It's
Oro y plato.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah. Oro y plata. Or plateau. Plata?
Plata.
Plata.
I mean, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Maybe it's plata.
No, it's plata.
Oh, okay.
In Spanish, A is always an sound. Plata. So yeah. So that was a good little challenge there. We had our favorite cookie, black and white cookie at 54 across, Oreo.
Right.
And so that's sort of a standard Monday fare there. But on the whole, it was pretty good.
We had a little bit of product placement at 51 down. Hybrid Chevys, Volts.
That's right. I was going to ask you, did you get that one right away?
I had the V from 50 across, that being, it's not going to tell me what 50 across is.
Standout athlete for short.
Standout athlete, yes. And MVP. So that gave me the V of Volts, and I had the O from Oreo, so I was well on my way.
Yep. So,
we also had 64 across, the Magician's Cries, which was ta-das.
Yes.
I had trouble with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was going for like presto and abracadabra.
Oh, no. It had to be plural, and it was only 5 squares.
Okay, prestos and abracadabras.
Well, those wouldn't fit.
No, if you were a magician, you could make it fit.
Perhaps.
I wonder how many crosswords there have had like sort of a magic. I think we saw one, didn't we? Not too long ago. There was the idea of a rabbit coming out of a hat. Remember that one?
Oh, yes.
So, but I just bring that up apropos of nothing.
I thought 27 down was kind of funny. Show up to a gala in a T-shirt, say. Underdress.
Right.
Underdress.
Although the way that clothing and fashion change nowadays, who knows?
That's true. That's true.
We had 29 down. Once again, I discovered I did not know how to spell noted painter of soup cans, Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
Because I went for Warhal.
Oh,
Which means that
no, Warhol.
Montana's Matto was Oro y Plata. It was also their motto. We had 25 down, art with tiles and fancy styles that might produce smiles. That was sort of a cute clue.
Yes, it was.
And that was mosaic.
Yeah.
Usually I think we have maybe a few more debut answers. Here we only had one. That was the aforementioned underdress.
Underdress, yeah.
But everything else has appeared at some point, including Shetland Islands.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
I often wondered where the Shetland Islands are. Is that where the Shetland ponies come from?
Maybe. I don't know.
Just wondering. You know everything else, so I just thought I'd try you on that. So, all right. Well, I think this was a fine Monday crossword.
Good way to start the crosswording week.
Yes, it was by Christina Iverson, who I believe is an editor for the New York Times.
Yeah, we've seen that name.
Yes.
So, very good.
All right. Yes, that is it for today then. So, thanks everyone for listening.
Yep.
We will be back again with our cutting edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.